this is one of the things that rich people get a lot of S for. And I got to say, if I was a rich person, I would also use my private jet all the time because I'm an ahole. So Kylie Jenner is getting backlash for flying her private jet to the wedding in Venice. So apparently, what are your feelings on this, Bob? You look like you have a resigned look on your face.
I feel very conflicted about the private jet thing because it's not like she can fly Delta.
No, she can fly Delta. She could get on.
You don't think it would cause mayhem? If famous people were
famous people do use flights. I mean, so they sit in first class and they get their special treatment. They sit in their private lounge or whatever. But once they're on the plane, I mean, yes, it would be annoying for them.
Yeah.
But she could do that. Should she? Must she? If I was super rich, I'd be like, I'm not flying on a plane with other people. Come on, I got my own plane. I'm going to go on that. But it is unbelievable what that single flight did. It just makes you realize, like, well, flights are going all the time. All the time. Commercial airlines. There's
24/7
right,
all over the globe.
There are probably, I don't know, I can't even estimate, 5,000 planes in the air right now. I know more. I have no idea. A lot. This one plane. What are you laughing about?
The number is so hard, like 5,000 or more. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I don't know.
What am I laughing at?
What do you think the number is?
I'm going to ask Google right now.
Yeah.
What was the question?
How many planes are in the air right now?
Oh, thousands.
Like 5,000.
You're doing the same thing
actually, 5,000.
Do you think more or do you think less?
I think exactly 5,000.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Exactly 5,000.
On a typical day, there are between 8,000 and 20,000 airplanes in the sky worldwide.
Jesus.
There's your number.
So here we're talking about one plane, which was carrying 3 people. Well, plus whatever staff is on there.
The team.
Oh,
if you have like 10 plus people on the PJ, I think it starts to be more acceptable.
Because on the PJ, I didn't realize it was called a PJ, but yes. Now, when I'm rich, I will call it the PJ.
I have a question.
Yes, dear.
Is this young lady
Kylie Jenner,
Timotei's partner, right?
Yes.
Is she actually featured on the Kardashian show? Like,
oh yes.
Oh, she is.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, then she does have to answer. Like, that's the thing. If you're doing a job where you're publicly seen and you expect people to watch or participate, then she does kind of have to answer to public, opinion. Or
she
accept
is subjected to it.
The ratings, dip if they say, that's it, I'm not watching that anymore.
Right.
Which is a real thing. And
I think the bulk of their money, it would seem to me, I know they make big deals for that show. And it's on Hulu now. Like the production level is 10 times what it was when it was on E! But it seems to me like they make all their money off of their products and their Instagram.
Well, at this point, it is for their promotion. The TV show is to promote whatever other side things they have. But I didn't know if she was featured. The little episode I saw many, many years ago, she would have been a little kid. I don't even think she was on it.
She was on it when she was little, but not.
I never saw her.
She and Kendall were, I would say, mid-teens when that show started.
That feels right.
And they were, and Kendall was already modeling. I think she'd already modeled, so she was featured a little bit more. But Kylie was, I think she's the best looking one of all of them right now. Like of all the times that I've gone, oh, you shouldn't have done that to your face. I'm like, no, you did all the right stuff. You did great. You look fantastic. I just think she's gorgeous. Anyway, I haven't even gotten to the whole thing. So she owns a $73 million private jet. Just, fun fact. That's how much a jet costs. A lot of rich people just buy a share in like a NetJets or something, right? So that they can, it still costs them, thousands of dollars to take the flight, but they remember this thing. And so they're part of it. So she flies her private jet to Jeff Bezos' wedding. And that single trip emitted the same amount of CO2 that the average person would if you drove your gasoline car around the world 3 times. That single flight. That's how much, it's something like 24 tons of CO2 from that one. Now, Oh, that's exactly it. 24 tons of carbon pollution. The private jet. 12 hours of flight time. Apparently spread across a handful of days. So, but think about like, I don't even know what that looks like. I mean, we're talking about carbon, like I just don't know what would 24 tons of carbon look like? Because these 20,000 planes that are in the air are all also emitting constantly. Greta Thunberg is very upset about it. Anyway, she goes on a private jet and of course, there's backlash. Although if I were Kylie Jenner, you know what you should do, Kylie? Just don't. I'm sure she doesn't read every comment that comes in on her. Like anything that gets posted or any people that find out that all she has to do is like not open her phone. And she'd be like beautifully oblivious. Just like rich, beautiful, and oblivious.
Okay.
Thoughts?
I have a thought. If you think of flying as like when we take Delta or whatever, Spirit, as public transportation, then is taking your private jet the same as owning a car? Relatively?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
Because like there are methods for us to, instead of drive, we could take trains and buses, but it would take a lot longer.
Yes.
It would be more uncomfortable.
It's way less convenient for sure.
Way less convenient.
Yeah.
And then when you get to that level, and I don't know why I'm defending using a private jet, but I just can't help but think if I was a billionaire, when you look at your life and how much stuff you have going on and the responsibilities and the pressure and
what your time is worth.
Yeah, your time is worth so much more.
Right.
I think that's how it starts to become more acceptable how you start to justify it in your head, even as someone like Leonardo DiCaprio, who we talked last week while you were out about. He was getting a lot of backlash because he also took a private jet.
And he is a huge environmentalist.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the crap that he's getting, though, is that he's being a hypocrite.
Yeah.
So in his mind,
She's
though,
not. This is just who she is.
Right.
maybe he's justifying it because he knows, hey, like I spend this much time doing this much good towards the environment. And relatively speaking, in order to protect my peace, my time, my efficiency, this makes the most sense. And maybe he thinks it kind of like counterbalances.
And do you think that I kind of think it does. And like you said, it's hard for Leo DiCaprio to be standing in line waiting to get on a plane. Like he's Leo, I've flown private twice, and I shouldn't have, because it's so convenient and awesome that you go, oh, these friggin' rich people, like. But
you'd say to yourself, never again. Going through the airport, the first time you get to security and they say, I know you've waited an hour or 40 minutes or whatever it is, but I need you to take your shoes off. Right then you go, F this.
Yep,
I am not bending over in this right here, walking barefoot. No. Yep. Because you have the money.
When you fly private, you pull into a lot off the side of the airport. You drive up to the plane. You get out. They grab your luggage for you. You show them your driver's license, maybe. I don't even know. Whatever. I had to. You get on the plane, and then the host guy who was taking us to their place, he calls his wife and says, I'm running late. I'll be there pretty soon. Like, there's no, all the stress is removed from it.
I think it comes down to, because we're sitting here defending this and
I don't know if we're defending it or we're just,
yeah,
I'm just saying I can't deny that if I was a billionaire, I would definitely have a private jet.
You're reminding me of this conversation I saw on video of Ben Affleck, and he was saying something to the effect, and maybe you played it, maybe I saw it on the internet, but he was saying something like, the debate between, the goal of being rich and famous. I tell people, be rich. Fame will leave you completely unhappy. You'll think it'll be great to be loved everywhere you go, but that's not how fame plays. And he's talking from experience and saying, go for the money.
Yeah.
And there it is. Like, there's a lady who still has to answer to people because she has a public persona and she's got products she wants people to buy. So it'll be interesting if the backlash is legit or not. I don't think it will be.
Oh, no.
But it's wasteful. We
yeah.
can all agree. It's wasteful. You flew a private jet to a wedding, to the most wasteful wedding maybe in the history of the worlds.
Maybe.
So, yeah, wasteful.
Yeah.
But it's also wasteful for me to get on a plane and go to Miami, Florida for the weekend just for fun. And that's socially acceptable.
Yeah, nobody would ever think twice. Although that plane was already going to go there. And at least you filled a seat. I don't know.
The argument could be maybe it's more worthwhile to have a full plane than, but then someone might go, this is why you can't win. Someone might go, well, at least if it was lighter, there'd have been less, carbon emission.
Let's just all walk everywhere.
Yeah.
Just be done with it.
Right. It's the most human thing to get used to a standard and adapt to it and then not be able to go backwards.
Yeah.
We all do that in so many ways.
I was talking to my daughter who has gone in and out of certain anxiety, and she gets she seems to be okay with it now because we flew to Hawaii in February, but she has had times where she doesn't want to fly and she's scared and she starts to get like hyperventilating and whatever. And I was talking to her about, you can have as big or as small a life as you want. It can still be a great life. You don't have to fly. You can live in your town and have your friends and make, build your life. So it is really just all of these options that are available to us are almost too tempting,
Mm-hmm.
Like I can see if you got the money and you're like, man, it'd be really fun. But in reality, we don't need that.
No.
You don't need it. You could have a great life and have your feet be your only carriage. Hi, Bob Marley.
Nice.
But
if you have a private jet, use your private jet. I don't know. I really feel like
you're not mad at her.
I'm not mad at her because I know that I would do it too.
The end.
408 says, Sarah, do you know about JSX? You can fly semi-private for pretty much just a couple $100 extra.
I don't know about that. Let me text you.
Here's another one, 510. Check out JSX, semi-private. Sometimes cheaper than Southwest. No TSA, free drinks on the plane, luggage outside plane 5 minutes after landing, board within 20 minutes of flight.
Oh.
JSX, everybody. Shame on me.
I'm texting John.
415 says, commercial airplanes contribute about 2.5% of global CO2 emissions, and private jets are a minuscule percentage of that. You guys are perpetrating a myth.
But we're totally
perpetuating.
Backing it
What am I saying?
We're backing it.
Tim the pilot here.
Hey, Tim the pilot.
That was one way. She had to do a round trip. And just like Taylor Swift, she purchased a bunch of carbon credits to offset, which then plants trees and does other good works. It's not all bad.
Oh, that's nice.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Did you say that in the story?
I didn't see it in the story.
Oh.
Because it was a story about what a jerk she is. How dare she? I'll put any good stuff in there.
Sarah and Vinny on Alice.
Have a very nice day at work.